Ladies and gentlemen, our program begins in just 5 minutes, but as you take your seats, please turn your attention to the video screens for a special presentation about the NABJ Leadership Academy.
This program is important because we're building leaders. And it's important that we come to NABJ to identify folks, to help coach them up, give them the skills and the inspiration to achieve, and then watch them grow.
I think the Leadership Academy is so critical because it gives us things that we never could have even thought of. We have no point of reference. We may think we know, oh yeah, they do this as a manager, they do this as a leader. But when we get in the room, we start seeing the knowledge drop, we start hearing those gems, you're just blown away immediately by the experience, by the institutional knowledge, and by the perspectives of those leaders.
There's so many valuable things that I learned from this experience. I think one of the biggest things was the mentorship with the BLDL leaders. I aspire to be a general manager, and just to be able to talk to people who are already sitting in the seat was extremely valuable.
There was not a general manager that looked like me that I could look to or ask, but there were people that were mentors to me that I could ask, okay, well, what do you think about this? Or what if I were able to do this? What do I need to know? How do I equip myself to make the right decisions?
How will I pay it forward? I will identify and invest in those who want to grow. I will inspire others through my words and actions. I will further change the culture for the good. I will be invited back to NABJ Leadership Academy as a top news leader to raise up the next generation of leaders.
My goal beyond being editor-in-chief at a paper is to actually bring up the younger generation. We need to get out there. We need more Black journalists. We need more other journalists of color to tell our stories.
Although I'm the first Black sports editor at the Detroit News, I shouldn't be the last. Lean over and tell your neighbor, you can be the first, but don't be the last. Paying it forward is becoming a champion for the Leadership Academy, reaching out and actively mentoring, sharing your experiences and making an impression. And with all that I've received from my experience, I'm ready to make that commitment today to next year's cohort.
NABJ Leadership Academy, those are essential building blocks to ensure the long-term success of our industry.
I am the Director of Sales for WJBF-TV in Augusta. Actually, tomorrow will be my last day as DOS in Augusta. Monday, I will be the General Sales Manager at WJXT in Jacksonville, Florida, working with one of our mentors, Terry Cope Walton. So, super excited about that opportunity.
That's pretty phenomenal. When you're able to see everything as a possibility, you can do anything.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in walking distance, but the entertainment is right here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome international recording artist Riley Richard. Riley Richard. Ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for NABJ's 50th anniversary. And now, he's the former president of Washington's most powerful, and she's calling the shots all the way to the history books. Please welcome MSNBC senior Washington correspondent and co-host of The Weekend, Eugene Daniels, and the first African-American woman to serve as a college football commentator at a major network, ESPN's Tiffany Green.
Good afternoon, NABJ. I wanted to saunter out here after listening.
Get a little
to
slow.
Riley Richard.
Hold on, give him a little something.
Feels good, feels good. Hope everyone is feeling great today, and we welcome you to the 2025 Hall of Fame induction. One more time for Riley Richard.
Now, Tiffany, I am very excited to be here. I've only been here 2 days, but it's like coming home every single time.
Absolutely. This is a family reunion. You get to see all of your friends and your family. And this event in particular is one of everyone's favorite. And this year, for the first time, we have 8 Hall of Fame inductions. Let's give it up. Now, don't clap.
Too much.
Because that means keeping the speeches short. So if you're feeling, in the spirit, a little long-winded, and it starts to run on and on, you will likely hear this. And that means wrap it up.
Quickly. One of the things I love about this ceremony is we always start by honoring the emerging journalist of the year, and we end with the legacy award, because as everyone here knows, it's not how you start, it's about how you finish. And for some of our honorees, y'all just getting started.
Yeah. And if you think about it, this program today illustrates the very reason why NABJ exists. You heard it before, but let's give it up again. Happy 50th NABJ. Now, as you just mentioned, Eugene, for many of us, NABJ is family and often serves as the engine that sustains our purpose.
And it reminds us why we're here. And after 50 years of service, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our founders for having the vision, the valor to create this community. If you're a founder and you are here today, please stand so we can show you some love. All of our founders, please stand. All that black excellence right there. All that black excellence.
We are deeply in debt to you and your service and your tremendous efforts. So that felt good. But it also reminded me that I feel that way sometimes when I'm on the sidelines. You hear that loud, thunderous crowd, that roar. It never gets old. So now I've got to ask about your job and how does it feel to be in Washington, D.C.? Does it ever get old?
Yes, it does. It gets old often. There's so much going on. But what never gets old is defending the media, because we all have to do it together.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And thank you for helping to do just that. Well, congratulations on serving as the immediate past president of the White House Correspondents Association. Give it up. Give it up.
Thank you. But since we're talking about history, you recently made history as the first African-American woman in history, I'm gonna say it again, to be a play-by-play commentator for a major network.
I thank you, Eugene. It's truly an honor to represent, I think, for both of us and for many of us in this room at the highest level. So, are you all ready for the show? Okay.
Do that one more time.
Okay.
Are y'all ready for the show? There we go. Come on, wake up. It's lunchtime.
We need that engagement. Come on now.
Yes.
And we've got more entertainment coming your way. While lunch is being served, you will enjoy the musical stylings of international recording artist Riley Richard some more, so get into it. And first, we're going to hear from our NABJ president, Ken Lemon.
Good afternoon, NABJ. Oh, man, I thought Eugene had y'all pumped. Good afternoon, NABJ. Beautiful, beautiful. It is an honor to serve as your president during the 50th anniversary of this incredible organization. I joined NABJ in 2008, but I've been in journalism for 32 years. You can clap. If you're an emerging journalist, that's only 3 decades, so that's how we count that. Since becoming a member, I've witnessed tremendous growth within NABJ, and I am proud to stand on the shoulders of the 44 visionary founders who paved the way. This year, we celebrate not only an historic milestone for NABJ, but also a heartfelt farewell. Our dear friend and executive director, Drew Berry, is retiring after more than 9 years of dedicated service to this organization. Drew, looking for you. Your leadership has made a lasting impact, and we want to make sure you feel the love. Take a look.
Hi, Drew. It's Michelle. Listen, congrats on your retirement. I know you're going to be sad to be leaving the business, so I've set up a recurring monthly conference call so you can stay tied to the business. So have fun with the grandkids, and I'll see you next month on Zoom. Take care. We're going to miss you.
Hey, Drew, congratulations on a career that's meant so much for so many, including me. Many blessings to you and the family in the next chapters ahead.
Congratulations on your next journey of adventure and fun. The Leadership Academy could not exist without your support. And the idea that we are developing leaders for the next generation in our crazy business is so important. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Drew Berry, retirement. Hey, congratulations on an awesome career. We love you, and we're very proud of all the work you've done for us at NABJ and throughout the industry. You have truly been a blessing. Wishing you all the best in all of your future endeavors, but most importantly, wishing you the best with your family. Enjoy.
Energizer Bunny, Life Vest are just several of the wow words that come to mind when I think of you and NABJ. Drew, thank you so much for your support of the NABJ Leadership Academy, for helping it to grow and flourish, and thank you for being that life vest, that support system when I needed it during times with NABJ and beyond. Enjoy the time you're going to spend with Brenda and those beautiful children and grandchildren. God bless you, and thank you.
Congratulations once more to Drew on his retirement. I remember coming to NABJ as a young pup, and he would always walk around wearing a smile and always had time for me. So I am indebted to him and say thank you. And also thank you to President Lemon.
Next, we will have the invocation by one of our very own. You may know her as a morning anchor at WKYC, but she also identifies as an agent of change.
In 2016, she founded Shine to help others find their divine light within, and, well, the rest is history.
NABJ, please welcome Reverend Danita Harris.
Good afternoon, everyone. May we bow our heads for a word of prayer. Gracious and mighty God, we pause in gratitude today, gathered not just as professionals, but as purpose bearers, storytellers chosen to reflect the truth and amplify the unheard. Today, God, we honor the storytellers, the visionaries, the truth bearers, the scribes of our time, who dared to report when the world looked away, who gave voice to the voiceless, and who captured the heart of our people in every headline, every broadcast, and every byline. God, I lift up every inductee into this Hall of Fame today. May this honor be more than a celebration. It is a legacy. It is a reminder that their work mattered. Their voices rang loud and clear, and their impact is eternal. God, we thank you for the sacred gift of voice, for pens that write with power, for cameras that capture truth, for mics that carry the soul of our people to the world. God, continue to anoint the work of Black journalists, strengthen our integrity, sharpen our discernment, and protect our courage. Let our words uplift, challenge, and heal. May we be faithful witnesses of justice, culture, and truth. And Lord, I ask that you bless this gathering today. Let this be more than a luncheon. Let it be a revival of passion, purpose, and unity. Knit us together, God, as a community of truth tellers and vision keepers. And may every conversation today be filled with wisdom. May every connection today be purposeful. And may every heart leave reminded of why this work matters. In your holy name we pray. Amen. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, a round of applause for Riley Richard. And now, please take your seats as we resume this afternoon's program. Please welcome back to the stage ESPN's Tiffany Green and MSNBC's Eugene Daniels.
I certainly hope that everyone enjoyed lunch or are still enjoying lunch and the fabulous entertainment from Riley Richard. One more time for Riley.
Y'all enjoy the food? We just scarfed ours down. Ours was very good.
Yeah,
How about y'all?
It just came.
Yeah. Y'all quiet. We can't hear you. Was the food good? Okay. I'm asked the crew to throw the teleprompter back up. We're good, but we ain't that good. We didn't memorize the script just yet. Okay, there we go. Well, I think, I got nervous. We're vamping. That's what that's called.
We were absolutely vamping. So naturally, welcome back. Okay, we're back on the stage. We're here.
Pretend that other stuff didn't happen. We're back. We just walked out. Yes.
Okay, now we join this program already in progress. How about again, Eugene, we had a great time just chatting backstage, just about what NABJ means and how important this is for us to gather every year, but also the important work that so many do throughout the year in their communities.
Yeah, and it's an honor to be here with you, but also with all of you. I was popping out and saying hi to some of you guys because, again, this is family.
Oh, I thought I was supposed to stay backstage. See, you hopping out saying hello to everybody.
I used to be a rule follower till I got to DC, and now I just kind of do what I want.
You just freestyle, vamp.
Yeah. I was a good kid to be a bad adult. I think that was how I kind of.
I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. I stay in the lines, color in the lines. So, but what's so cool about you is that you've accomplished so much in like a short amount of time. I mean, again, I'll remind everyone that you're the immediate past president of the White House Correspondents Association, co-host of The Weekend.
7 to 10, Saturdays and Sundays.
Tune in, support. And you recently delivered the commencement address at Colorado State University.
Yeah, my alma mater.
Yeah.
Very lucky, very lucky.
So I'm just really curious to know then.
The Rams, who said Rams?
Okay. Okay.
Hi, Mr. Jason.
But like, when did you know that like you had it?
I didn't. My mentors, people here at NABJ helped me find it. And so like I told the class of 2025, for all you young folks out there, you belong in every room you find yourself in. That's something my mom told me. She's watching. She's probably going to charge me for using her saying once again.
Hey, Mom. I absolutely love that. And I believe that it's something our next honoree also knows all too well. Our first award today truly sets the tone for this occasion.
Named for a beloved NABJ leader who we lost way too soon. Michael J. Feeney loved this family, but most importantly, he loved journalism.
And nominees for this award display a commitment to NABJ's goal of outstanding achievement through their work and their service. Let's take a look at how Tiana Woodard is carrying on the example of lifting Black voices.
Some of my earliest memories were my mom like getting stacks of computer paper and folding them in half and stapling them and just telling me to write a story. I knew that I always loved writing, and my parents nurtured that for me.
That love led Tiana Woodard to journalism school at the University of Texas.
I think what I like most about being a journalist is that I get paid to ask a lot of questions.
Hi there, I'm Tiana Woodard. I cover Black neighborhoods and communities in Boston for the Boston Globe.
Also, what I've always been passionate about is using my journalism to help inform people of the history that led to us being in like this current state that we're in. This one too, and
she does journalism for the sake of community, for the sake of Black communities. beautiful to see someone step into themselves, hone their voice, and do all of that while still understanding the importance of the community that they serve and that they're in.
She wants to be better. Every single day, she wants to be better.
At a time when there is a deep desire to rewrite history, replace the truth with fiction, having someone who is so dedicated to archiving history and celebrating legacy is deeply important and necessary.
My hope is that someone can at least see a story where they see their lived experiences in writing, where they can relate to it. If that can make like one person happy, that's why I'm in this.
2025 NABJ Michael J. Feeney Emerging Journalist of the Year, Tiana Woodard.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Nice to see you too.
Congratulations. Let me take this out.
I'll trade you. I'll hold that. There you go.
Oh my goodness. I admire the journalists who have received this award before me, let alone the namesake. So I'm so over the moon that the NABJ selected me this year to follow in their footsteps. I just want to devote these 2 minutes that I have, it's really short, to kind of lift up everyone whose name isn't etched into that stone. I already mentioned this previously, but I would not be who I am without my family. I mentioned that it was people like my mom who would devote time and fold stacks and stacks of computer paper blank and just present them to me, record my imaginations. And people like my dad who, after 12-hour shifts at a chemical plant in Nashville, Tennessee, would sit on the couch and listen to me read my stories. It's for them who I am today, and I'm so, so grateful. For this honor, I am also really thankful for my partner, Orlando, who throughout all this work has reminded me of who I am and the work that I'm doing when I struggled to see it myself. And also my editor at the Boston Globe, Christopher Hooks, who was always challenging me to think bigger and bigger about my pitches. And I mean, damn, with this award, I guess it paid off. So he always also fought for the stories that may not have been timely, but were still important to our community nonetheless. There's people like Anika Butler, Janae Osterhelt, Jen Peter, who took a chance on a young journalist out of college to cover one of the most important beats in our newsroom, Black community. And last but not least, I would not be where I am without all the people in Boston and our community who had every reason in the world to not trust me and trust a white institution like the Globe with their stories, but trusted this little girl from Nashville, Tennessee to tell them and to take them to new heights. That's all. Again, thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I'm really, really thrilled and over the moon to be here. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Give it one more time for Tiana. Covering politics, you give up the press more easily, but then when you hear from young journalists who want to be journalists and who do it the way that Tiana's doing it, I always feel better. Y'all feel better right now after talking? Yes, exactly. Our next honoree is so accomplished that her nomination letter was penned by last year's recipient.
And what's a better honor than being nominated by someone who already got the award?
I think the answer is winning the award is pretty good. Yeah. She did both.
Yes.
She did both.
Yeah. Well accomplished. Our next award recognizes a distinguished leader who increases access and opportunities for Black journalists. Let's take a look at why Amanda Barrett is this year's Ida B. Wells recipient.
You can have me just stay here.
When I was young, the only time I saw Black people in newspapers were in coverage of crime, entertainment, and in sports. And I know a lot of communities feel that way, that they have not been fairly covered.
The pursuit of fair and accurate journalism defines Amanda Barrett's career.
She's always been about journalism and always been about making sure that everyone was included.
Bringing in different voices and different perspectives is key to being accurate.
As Vice President for News, Standards, and Inclusion at the Associated Press, Barrett created and leads AP's Inclusive Storytelling Drive.
Everyone is a part of this program now, and everyone wants to be a part of the program.
She got others to buy into what we were doing, and it changed the company for the better. We needed that because of our audiences were changing and growing.
It's not only a moral imperative to be more inclusive, it's a business imperative. Journalism, if we are not including more people, won't have an audience.
I say all the time, I jokingly say to her, I say, you're the moral compass of this place. You know, if you're thinking something, then we should all be thinking this.
Barrett's impact is also measured by those she mentors.
Service is my purpose. And the greatest thrill for me is to see the people I've been mentoring succeed. It brings me so much joy to know that they are taking the reins. I want to leave journalism stronger and better than when I met it.
2025 NABJ Ida B. Wells Award recipient, Amanda Barrett.
And I'll hold that for you. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations again.
So take and hold that for you.
Wow, these are some bright lights. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you. I'm just so honored. And honestly, I'm trying not to cry, but I don't think I'm succeeding. This means so much to me. To receive an award named for Ida B. Wells is amazing. She was a woman whose words shook the foundations of injustice. She spoke truth to power, even when it put her life at risk. She was bold and relentless, and she reminds me every day of what this work is really all about. There have been so many times in my career when I was the only Black person in the room, the only one saying, wait a minute, somebody's missing from this story, who is that? Or why are we telling it like this? Or why can't we give this person an opportunity? But I spoke up because I had to. I spoke up because if no one speaks up, then we don't have change. And because my uncles always told me that you have a duty to represent the people who are not in the room. I was also lucky to have someone show me how it's done. Joanne Poindexter. She was the first Black journalist at the Roanoke Times, which is my hometown newspaper. And she led the minority journalism program that brought me into this field when I was just a teenager. She didn't just teach me how to be a journalist. She showed me how to lead with integrity and strength and purpose. And I carry her lessons with me all the time. And I'm so blessed to be able to mentor and support others in the way that she did me. In 2020, I launched an inclusive storytelling effort at the Associated Press, and I'm proud to say that my partner, Michael Giarrusso, is here with me today. The goal was simple. It was to widen the lens, to broaden whose stories are told and who gets to tell them. It was about recognizing that inclusion is not a luxury. It's not a side project. They're not just the stories over here. It's essential to the accuracy of our journalism. Because if we're not telling the full story, we're not telling the truth. To NABJ, I just want to say thank you for this incredible honor. It just means so much to me. I've been a member for many years, and coming here just gives me strength and renews my purpose every year. To every journalist out there pushing for a more inclusive, more honest industry, thank you for doing this work alongside me. Let's keep going, because the story of journalism is still being written, and we get to help shape what it becomes. And lastly, I just want to thank my family. My partner, Jason Logan, is here. My little brother, my heart, Lincoln Barrett, and my two best friends, Sherry Miles is here and Melanie Hatter is watching from afar. They hold me down and make it so I can do what I can do. So thank you all, and I hope you have a good rest of the conference.
Congratulations again. Make sure I don't stumble like out later. Amanda, thank you for the way that you have shown up, the way that you speak up, the way that you have included others at the table. And in your video, you said you were hoping to make a difference, and certainly your difference is being felt right now. Well, trailblazer, distinguished journalist, and most importantly, a force to be reckoned with. Those are just a few words to describe our first Hall of Fame inductee.
Today, we sit among giants, and she's one of them. Let's take a look at how Callie Crossley served her way to NABJ history and the Academy Awards. Come on, Callie.
Callie Crossley has been a TV reporter, filmmaker, commentator, radio host, and an inspiration to her colleagues during her extraordinary career.
But the fight is really about the soul of young readers.
Crossley's first on-air work was at local stations in Memphis, Indianapolis, and Boston. She was also a producer for the ABC News investigative program 2020. Crossley wrote, produced, and directed 2 installments of Eyes on the Prize, the definitive documentary series about the civil rights struggle. Her Bridge to Freedom episode won a National Emmy and a DuPont Columbia Award, and earned her the first Oscar nomination for an African American in the documentary feature category. Crossley hosted Basic Black on GBH in Boston, and is now a commentator and host for 2 radio shows at the station. Her work explores issues and stories that are often overlooked by larger media outlets. Among many other honors, Crossley was recognized as a distinguished alumna of Wellesley College, where she is also a trustee. She's been an NABJ board member and holds 5 honorary doctorates. NABJ 2025 Hall of Fame inductee, Callie Crossley.
Of course. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, NABJ. Standing here, it is hard for me to grasp that I have closed the distance between my younger self and NABJ newbie to today, a veteran member having served on the national board and my local NABJ chapters. I was working my first reporting job in Memphis, Tennessee, when my friend, the late Marilyn Duncan, we found out about an NABJ gathering not too far from us. So long ago that when we arrived, founder and future President Dwayne Wickham took our bags from the car and walked us into the hotel. I am from the one and only era, one black reporter in the newsroom. I was awestruck and starstruck to be in a room of maybe 100 journalists. It was thrilling. People whose work I had admired from afar. I mean, I was standing right next to Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative reporter and Newsday editor, the late Les Payne, right next to me. So thank you for this honor, NABJ. Thanks to the board, the Hall of Fame committee, and to my GBH colleague, Deborah Adams Simmons, who shepherded the process. I am humbled and amazed to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Delighted to be joined by my Boston peeps, Greg Moore and Pam Moore, who have shared my NABJ journey and so many memories of NABJ conventions past. And to share the honor stage with former President Bob Reed, broadcast manager, owner, and innovator, who once upon a long time ago volunteered to critique my videotape resume reel. That's the thing about NABJ. The mentorship, both formal and informal, is outstanding. The workshops, the special seminars, and yes, barstool networking have never failed to uplift me. I am full because there are too many people to name here who have poured into me and who guided me, sharpening my skills and led me to the seminal professional experience of my life, my work as producer on the documentary series Eyes on the Prize, America's Civil Rights Years. The series chronicled the comprehensive history of 10 foundational years of the civil rights movement through authentic music and on-the-ground testimony. No on-camera historians. Eyes has been awarded multiple top journalism, TV, and film awards, including my Academy Award nomination, making me the first African-American to be nominated in the documentary features category. But this is how much I love NABJ. Before any of the film festivals, before the public admiration happened, before the awards, my boss, the late visionary Henry Hampton, agreed to my request for our very first public screening to be at NABJ. I was nervous and excited about the screening and so thrilled and exhilarated by y'all's standing ovation. So to the new members here today, I wish for you the NABJ I've had, one that has your back, stands in the gap, celebrates your wins, and gives you your flowers. Now, this is as tough a time as I've seen for journalism and black journalists under attack for doing our jobs reporting the truth. I expect some part of NABJ's next 50 years will be fraught. So we must keep mission focused, keep the faith, and keep our eyes on the prize.
Congratulations again. It's just humbling to be in her presence, to listen to her speak, and oh man, amazing. Congratulations again, legendary for sure.
Yes.
Now, Eugene, I've got to ask this question of you. What do you get a woman who already has everything? What would you think?
That's a good question for somebody else, I think. But I'll try. Tickets to Lauryn Hill at Essence Fest? No?
Too soon.
Oh, sorry.
Too soon.
All
Too
right.
soon. It's too soon.
Y'all go to bed before 2:30? Okay, fine.
I'm just.
Okay, tickets to see Coldplay with her boss. No?
Again.
Got it.
Read the room.
Mm-hmm. Too soon. Sorry. We'll try again. We'll try again.
All right, so I ask because for our next inductee, who we just heard from Ms. Crossley speak of, Pam Moore, legitimately has every single award known to mankind. And we're talking Emmys, a Peabody, the Beverly Ann Johnson Media Award, the NAACP Dr. Carlton B. Goodlett Civil Rights Award. She's even a member of the Silver Circle.
The Sister Circle. I love that show. BT really did their big one with that one. No.
He's not paying attention, y'all. Just bear with him, okay? He
was
staying out till 4
Yes,
a.m. last night.
yeah.
We're talking about the Silver Circle, okay?
Yes,
You know, the
okay.
exclusive club for the best in our industry, whose career spans 25 years or more.
The icons of the industry. Well, I hope she made some, go ahead and give them a round of applause. I hope she made some room on her mantle because she's got more hard work coming home. Let's take a closer look at how Pam Moore earned her way to the NABJ Hall of Fame.
An emergency meeting is still going on at the South San Francisco.
Over her 3+ decades in the anchor chair at Cron 4 in San Francisco, Pam Moore bonded with her viewers, won the respect of her colleagues, and brought Bay Area and national newsmakers to life.
Johnny Mathis sang to you. Alice Waters fed you. Good run, huh?
A pretty good run.
She received a Peabody Award for her work on Cron 4's series about race. Upon her retirement in 2023, Cron 4 renamed the news studio after her. Moore's volunteer work is both legendary and close to her heart. Moore is a lifetime member and former vice president of NABJ. She's been active in the local chapter at each stop in her career, pushing for the hiring of more African-American journalists and using her platform to tell the stories of those who are often overlooked. 2025 NABJ Hall of Fame inductee, Pam Moore.
I'll hold your paper. Thank you.
We'll trade you.
I can't. First of all, congratulations to all of the other inductees and honorees here today, and to everybody who had a hand in helping me be on this stage, and to my family at home in Detroit online. They better be online watching. And my family in the Bay Area who couldn't be here today. I love them, and I know that they've propped me up through all these years. I feel so much appreciation because this was not an honor that I sought, nor was it ever something that I imagined for myself, because there are so many people in NABJ who are deserving of this recognition. And admittedly, I get emotional each time I think about this award. Whenever I've talked to my friends here and they bring it up, I start tearing up, as I'm doing now. I also get emotional thinking about my many years as a member of this organization that I love so much, because NABJ has played such an important part in how I have grown, because I remember the excitement and the awe that I felt as a young journalist coming to the conventions, all of the things that I learned, helping me understand my responsibilities as a journalist, particularly as a Black journalist. Learning how to navigate newsrooms and boardrooms and how to network. I was stimulated and I was enlightened by everything that NABJ had to offer. And more importantly, the people, the relationships, the family. From working at the local NABJ chapters to serving on the national board as vice president for broadcast under Dwayne Wickham. So many people in this room mean so much to me, many who are not in this room as well. The values and the principles that shaped NABJ helped to shape me as a journalist, particularly my views about our commitment to our communities and to each other in the newsrooms all across this country. I am proud of this organization with all of its ups and downs. I started in radio news at WJLB in Detroit, then on to TV news in Toledo and Louisville and Dallas and Los Angeles and Boston. And I wound up in the Bay Area at Cron 4 News for more than 30 years. Much of my Bay Area family is here, including my news director and coworkers, and my girls over there, Barbara and Christine and Carolyn, that came too. I found role models in NABJ's leaders, people with integrity and courage and commitment and vision, serious, smart people, leaders who made sure that we knew that journalism stood for something, it meant something to our communities. People like Les and, boy, the list is long, Vernon and Merv and Dwayne, all the way through Vanessa and Dorothy and Kathy and all the hard workers in between. And the hard work on the national level by Sheila and Alexis and Paula and so many more. You can't come here and not be touched by that work. I found lifetime friendships, people who are my sisters and my brothers forever through NABJ. I appreciate this organization. My heart is warm today. And now I would like to give back some of what has been given to me to support the young people who will lead NABJ into the future. They, I hope, will have the same commitment, excitement, and dedication that I have grown to have when I started as a young journalist here. So I'd like to make a scholarship donation. Recognizing 50 years of NABJ, 5 college scholarships, 2 from my hometown Detroit area, 3 from my current home in the Bay Area, to be distributed next year, $10,000 each, $50,000 for 50 years of the National Association of Black Journalists. Thank you.
Wow.
Wow. Wow, let's give her one more round of applause.
I'm blown away. Thank you for your example. Thank you for sowing seed into good soil, into helping young journalists coming up. Thank you for letting your light shine, Pam. Thank you.
And thank you for leading by example, and the rest of you for following that example. I ain't gonna put you on the spot. We ain't gonna make you come up here, but we take checks, Zelle, our Venmo,
Cash
App,
Venmo,
all of it.
We're gonna do a square little Apple Pay.
Square Apple Pay, whatever you know,
Yeah.
cash, you know, old
Yes.
school cash.
All things are accepted.
Tiffany, have you ever thought about what you would do after TV?
Of course.
Okay.
I'm leaving the country. Changing my name and opening a coffee shop.
Ooh, wait, can I come?
Absolutely.
Can my husband and my dog also come?
Absolutely.
Okay,
We
cool,
love,
cool.
we love.
Okay. You have
love.
to scoot over. We're both very tall.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking dual citizenship.
Yeah, triple
somewhere.
citizenship, quadruple.
Yes.
I'll take it. Great.
Want to go home.
Great. But until then, so we have to keep working. We got bills. Maybe our next inductee is hiring. After 4 decades of journalism, he's already found his next business venture. Let's take a look at how this Cleveland native paved his way to NABJ history.
Gregory Moore began his 40-year newspaper career as a reporter in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. He became an editor at the Plain Dealer when he was only 28 and was a founding member of NABJ's Cleveland chapter. He then went on to become the first African-American managing editor at the Boston Globe. At the Globe, Moore put together the Spotlight team that made national news with his investigation of the Catholic Church for covering up sexual abuse cases involving its clergy. The Denver Post hired Moore to be its editor-in-chief in 2002, becoming the largest newspaper in the country with an African-American in the top position. Under his leadership, the paper rebuilt its online news operation and won 4 consecutive Pulitzer Prizes. Moore is a former NABJ National Board member and a recipient of NABJ's Lifetime Achievement Award. Moore's positive personality, sense of humor, and dedication have impressed his colleagues at every level. He's been a leader, mentor, and team builder with a commitment to the highest journalistic standards and a tireless advocate for diversity in the newsroom. 2025 NABJ Hall of Fame inductee, Gregory L. Moore.
How sweet it is to be in my hometown in front of old friends and family, and especially my 96-year-old mother. Look what's happened to your boy. Special thanks to my wife, Nina, and my daughter, Jasmine, who are with me today. My sisters, Sylvia and Angela, and her daughter, Naira, are also here. My first role model and old family friend, Bill Cotton, is here. I have other family members who couldn't be, but I just want you all to know I really appreciate you having my back, and I love you. At a moment like this, the most important thing is to thank the people who helped you get here. So I don't want to get the hook in my hometown, so I'm going to try to talk really fast. My earliest professional mentors were 4 Black journalism pioneers: Al Fitzpatrick, who was the executive editor of the Akron Beacon Journal; Bill Brower, who was editor and a columnist at the Toledo Blade; Bob Magruder, who was the managing editor at the Plain Dealer; and Tom Greer, who was the sports editor and later the editor-in-chief at the PD. They taught me how to project as a leader, the importance of staying connected to community, and the obligation to be a change agent. I can still hear their voices in my head. To my boys, Mike Frisbee, Elton Alexander, and Ken Cooper, being on this journey with you has been just the epitome, man. It's so meaningful to have you here today, Mike. Thank you. I'm also indebted to my Dayton crew, especially to Marianne Sharkey. You all made my first job, my first full-time job, so nurturing. And then, for the best location in the nation, Cleveland! You made me. You made me. Thank you to all my teachers, and thank you to the PD for my formative years. I had a blast. I got to say something about Ohio Wesleyan University. Thank you for accepting me after you closed admissions. It made a big difference in my life. To Carolyn Beeler and Dick Payne, thank you for everything. To the Boston Globe, thank you for 16 great years. There's nothing that happened to me in my career after that time that I wasn't prepared for. That G on my chest is forever. To my beloved Denver Post, I'm not going to even try to name people. I just want to say thank you for the privilege of being your editor. We did some amazing things together. To Caesar Andrews, Bobby Bowman, Wanda Lloyd, Crystal Chancellor, Milton Coleman, our kitchen, thank you for your enduring friendship and for spearheading this nomination to the Hall. I wouldn't be standing here without your effort. I really appreciate you more than you know. To Dean Singleton, Matt Storm, Marty Barron, Dana Kennedy, Leanne Colasiopa, and Will Haygood, your letters of support really pushed this thing over the top. My gratitude is endless. Thank you. And finally, I want to thank NABJ. I attended my first convention in 1984, and the organization strengthened and sustained me. From the career development sessions to the conversations in the lobby bar, which somebody already referred to my years on the NABJ board, and to those long nights of playing bid whist in the presidential suite, I learned so much, yeah. I'm grateful to NABJ to be selected, and to be with these other luminaries in the hall, and especially to the incoming class. A lot of them are my oldest friends. Finally, as our industry continues to morph, we need a vigorous NABJ. We must ensure the interests of Black people are taken seriously and covered fairly. That means having Black journalists in positions where decisions are made and on the ground where the stories are covered. NABJ has always stood for that. Now, we know that over time, progress stands on shifting sands. And so it's really important that we have a strong NABJ. And it takes all of us to do it. So I commit to you to do everything I can to be for the next generation what NABJ was for me. Thank you all so, so much. Thank you.
Now, Greg, I'm wondering, what was the opening bid? Do you always fall back on the 4 special for BidWiz? I'm just curious there. Well, thank you for representing the land the way you do and for representing us. Our next award recognizes a media professional who is shifting the culture one partnership at a time. Named for the legendary co-founder of the National Black Public Relations Society, Pat Tobin, this year's recipient is blazing a trail of her own.
Tiffany, I completely agree. Alexis N. Johnson is the head of social impact at Beats by Dre. Y'all know the headphones. In her role, she uses technology to positively impact communities through strategic partnerships with nonprofit organizations and Beats' roster of athlete ambassadors.
In addition, she serves as a PR manager. Her notable campaigns include the Beats Studio Pro launch featuring ASAP Rocky and the Power Beats Pros 2 Listen to Your Heart campaign, which featured LeBron James.
Y'all know him. Mm-hmm. I love her work already. I met her years ago at NABJ in Miami, where I tore my heel, but whatever, that doesn't matter. In 2023, she spearheaded the development of the inaugural Beats Academy LA, where 14 students collaborated to create 2 official Beats campaigns and learn about the business from industry professionals.
Alexis previously served in PR roles at Complex and the NFL, but credits her work at Beats as her most fulfilling chapter. Please welcome the 2025 Pat Tobin Media Professional of the Year, Alexis N. Johnson.
Congrats, Bill.
Congratulations, love meeting you in person. I know, nice to see you.
Let's give it up one more time for Alexis.
It's like so exciting to see her in person. I follow her on Instagram and all of her greatness. So, hi, Alexis. All right. So, by show of applause, how many of you have heard of the legendary Sports Journalism Institute? Come on, give it up. My sports folks, let's go, let's go. Yeah, that is the sound of impact, Eugene.
And
okay, did you feel it?
Yes, I did.
Yes, indeed. And that's the type of impact that legends are made of.
Correct. Known as an innovative editor, our next Hall of Fame inductee is best known for his commitment to increasing diversity. Here's a quick look at how Leon H. Carter became a household name.
Growing up on a farm in Southern Virginia, Leon Carter always knew he wanted to be a journalist. In his free time, he would pick stories out of the local newspaper and record his own versions on a tape recorder. Carter spent most of his career in the hyper-competitive world of New York sports journalism. First as an award-winning editor at Newsday, then as a vice president at ESPN, and in his current job as editor-at-large at The Athletic. In 2022, Carter won the Red Smith Award from the Associated Press. It's regarded as the highest honor in sports journalism, and he was only the 3rd African American to win it. He's most proud of his role as the co-founder of the Sports Journalism Institute. Now in its 33rd year, SJI helps prepare minorities and women for careers in sports journalism.
We are here to make you better.
Throughout his career, Carter has been a leader, mentor, advocate for diversity, and a model of integrity. 2025 NABJ Hall of Fame inductee, Leon H. Carter.
Hello, NABJ. You know, this is a long way from the farm in Virginia to New York City, and now in the NABJ Hall of Fame. What a tremendous feeling. I'd like to thank the man upstairs, because I would not have gotten here today without him. But you know something? There are two people I also wish who were here. That is Mom and Dad. They both have gone on. I hope that they are looking down today and smiling on this celebration. As we celebrate NABJ's 50th anniversary, I am extremely proud to be part of this Hall of Fame class. For that, thank you, NABJ President Ken Lemon and the board for this honor. Now let me get a few of my thank yous out of the way. I'd like to thank Gary D. Howard, who's also a Hall of Famer. You know, Gary was one of the first African-American sports editors, and he paved the way for people such as myself to be a sports editor. Also thanks to Dave Squires, who has been a great mentor. Sandy Rosenbush, Terry Thompson, Greg Lee, former NABJ president, Tony Signori, Mike Terry, but I also want to thank Mike Terry's wife, Gail, because I used to call the house at 6 a.m. in the morning, and she allowed those calls to go through when I was chairman of the sports task force. Thanks to Stephen Ginsburg, the editor of The Athletic, and Lisa Wilson and Claudio Cabrera. Last year, we started the Leon H. Carter Newsroom internship at The Athletic. How about that? An internship named after me. And then just a couple more thank yous. Thanks to Dave Roberts at ESPN, and also thank to APSE, and also some great professors that I had at Norfolk State University. Then you should say the green and gold then. Harry Williams, Wanda Brockington, Stanley Tickton, Linda Scanlon. Thanks to those great professors. As I saw those back pages at the New York Daily News, a couple things came to mind. One I will mention now and one I will get to. You know, the goal of the Daily News was to beat the competition each day, and you were judged every day by what was on the back page. So one night, I was in a deep sleep, and I mean a deep sleep. The phone rang at 3 a.m. I picked up the phone. Somebody was on the other end. Mouth was raising a mile a minute. Only thing I could hear was fire, fire, fire. So I jumped out of the bed. I started grabbing things. I'm thinking a neighbor is calling, saying that the house is on fire. When I figured it out, it wasn't a neighbor. It was one of my writers who was breaking a story at 3 a.m. He had called the newsroom. The overnight sports editor had taken a break. So the next call came to me. So after I calmed him down, and I was thankful that the house was not on fire, I edited the story, had it posted by 3:30. The Mets had fired their manager, and immediately we were getting credit. But that's how it was in New York City. You know, the goal was to break news every day and to kick ass every day. And we kicked a lot of ass in New York City, up and down the street. As we cover the Mets, the Yankees, the Knicks and the Nets, the Rangers, Devils, and Islanders. Someone once asked me, Leon, how does it feel to be on a hot seat? And I said, look, when your house is on fire, you don't have time to think of yourself being a black man. You have to get out. But yes, I do know the role that I played as the first African-American sports editor at the New York Daily News. But you know something? It's what you do with those roles when you get into those big positions in our newsroom. That brings me to my second point that I will conclude with. The great Jackie Robinson once said, a life is not important except in the impact that it has on other lives. In 1992, it was announced at this very convention that I had won a fellowship through the Freedom Forum, and I was going to take a year off to teach and mentor at Norfolk State. Out of that fellowship, something special came or was created, the Sports Journalism Institute. For 33 years, SJI has opened the doors for more than 400 women and minorities. Some are here today. Could you please stand if you're here from SJI? And stay standing. I know you guys have benefited. I know you guys have benefited from having your plane ticket paid for, your dormitory paid for, your meals paid for. That has been my contribution. So out of that fellowship, as I said, 400 men and women. And you know something? I talked about the fire and I will conclude, but this is the fire right here, NABJ family. You know, people like Shamar Woods, Candace Buckner, Malika Andrews, these young men and women bring the fire each day. And I am proud of them. And despite the wave that is going across this nation, where people are trying to turn the D word into something that is not. I say to NABJ, I say to SJI, I say to the audience, do not let that happen in our newsrooms. We belong there. We are needed now more than ever before. And I say to the young people, keep that fire burning. You know, there are going to be some difficult days ahead. Sometimes you may want to cry. Sometimes you may want to swear at your bosses. But you know, remember these words from an old church song. God is on our side. Never did he let us fall. Some said we couldn't make it. Others said we couldn't take it. But I'm here to say through it all, we are still standing tall. Thank you, NABJ.
See that dopeness you walked off with?
All right, our next inductee is a Cleveland legend. He's been on, I heard, yes sir, yeah. He's been on TV here for more than 40 years. And he has a brand new show called Wayne's World coming out very, very soon.
Wayne's World, excellent, party time. I love that movie. Wayne's World, excellent, woo woo.
What is
no?
that? What are you doing? You're right.
Before your time?
Yeah, way before. I'm very young. Look behind the ears
Everybody
and
knows?
everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eugene, unfortunately you don't know that reference. Saturday Night Live, Mike Myers, you know, the guy who played Austin Powers.
That one I know. Beyonce was in that movie. Yeah. The rest of that was before my time.
All right. So you're like 2 years old when that came out? Maybe?
Maybe.
Ooh, okay, well, I'm dating myself. That's all good, though.
That's okay, but you look great.
Thank you.
When Wayne Dawson, Reverend Wayne Dawson, comes up to accept his award, we'll have him pray for you.
Indeed. Well, you know, Leon already set the stage, right?
Correct.
So I can take all the prayers that I can get, okay? Can I get an amen? Okay, because we know that, you know, I like to play this game.
Go ahead.
God is good.
And all the time? There we go. On that note, let us bless you with a closer look at the local icon, Wayne Dawson.
Wayne Dawson has been described as a treasure of Northeast Ohio. And for over 40 years, he's been a fixture at Cleveland's WJW TV. He began his career as a tireless street reporter who dug deep to root out stories he thought his viewers needed to see.
Deep down, are you concerned about this election?
He then moved to the anchor's desk as co-host of Fox 8 in the morning.
First report, I'm Wayne Dawson.
Throughout his career, he mentored countless professionals in and out of the industry, leaving a lasting impact on the field of journalism and beyond, always there to help someone learn the ropes. In addition to his reporting, Dawson has been active in NABJ and contributes to the greater Cleveland area through the Annie L. Dawson Foundation, co-founded with his brother and named after their mother. The organization provides young people with scholarships and life skills training. 2025 NABJ Hall of Fame inductee, Wayne Dawson.
This mask has become part of my attire over the last year and a half as I've been battling oral cancer, but God is good. As a matter of fact, yesterday I got my scan back and it's negative, so so let the reconstruction project begin. It is an absolute honor to be inducted into this Hall of Fame. I am absolutely blown away. Congratulations to my fellow inductees. Your accomplishments are absolutely amazing. In my 4 decades as a newsman here in Cleveland, my hometown, my goal every day was just to be the best journalist I could be, to get the story right, to represent my community as best I could, to get into the newsroom and to give 110% every day and to autograph my work with success. I wanted to make my family proud and my city proud. Once again, this honor is totally unexpected, but I am extremely grateful for it. So many people to thank. First of all, the National Association of Black Journalists, thank you for this honor. Thank you so very much. When I think about it, it's hard for me to conceive a kid from a single-parent household in the inner city of Cleveland, an individual who grew up on public assistance, who I did come from a praying mother, and it's her prayers that have sustained me down through the years. To God be the glory, and I miss her a lot. But it's incredible to be mentioned in the same breath as individuals like CBS's Ed Bradley, Bernard Shaw from CNN, hard to believe, Max Robinson, the first network anchorman of African-American descent on ABC, Stuart Scott, the great sports reporter, Carol Simpson, Tony Brown, Roland Martin, W.E.B. Du Bois, and Wayne Dawson? Not to mention Cleveland's own Harry Boomer, who's also in the hall. God bless you, Harry. And my fellow inductee, none other than Leon Bibb. It is a blessing. This is a crazy business, television news. And it is a blessing to be able to say you've worked at one station for 45 years. It's also a blessing to do what you love to do for 45 years and get paid for it. And to receive such a high honor from my peers. To God be the glory. I'd like to take this time to thank my general manager, Paul Perezzini, my news director, Andy Fishman, my assistant news director, Mark Singer, for their support down through the years, especially over this last year and a half as I've gone through this cancer journey. I thank you guys for your support and your compassion. Thank you very much for that. Also, a special shout out to my morning show team, the #1 team in all of Northeast Ohio, Fox 8 News in the morning. We've been #1 for about 30 years. God is good. I want to thank my television sister, Stephanie Schaefer. We've been through a lot together, Stephanie. Thank you so much for your friendship and your support. My main man, Todd Meany, very, very talented man who's been working overtime since I've been off for a while. I'm back at work now, but Todd, I'll be back soon. Take some of that load off you. My brother from another mother, kicking it with Kenny Crumpton. Thank you, Kenny, for your friendship down through the years. My confidant and the sweetest woman at Fox 8, Natalie Herbert, thank you for your friendship and your support as well. And Dante Jones, our meteorologist, the future face of Fox 8. Thank you guys for being here today and for your support. Also, some other individuals in the room I'd like to recognize. Longtime Fox 8 photographer Greg Lockhart is in the house. Longtime member of the NABJ. Richard Zoom Scott, my partner in crime for over 30 years. We've done a lot of things, won a lot of Emmys together. Zoom, thank you so very, very much. Jennifer Jordan is here. We anchored the weekends together for a time. Jennifer, God bless you. Not to mention Eleanor Hayes. We did a show called Neighborhood for many years here in Cleveland. Eleanor, thank you for your support as well. And Roosevelt Leftwich as well. All my Fox 8 family is here. Thank you so much for your support. I really, really appreciate it. And before I take my seat, just want to say a very, very special thank you to my wife, Laverne, who has been with me through thick and thin, good times, bad times, ups and downs and turnarounds. She's been right there. I thank you for that. I want you to know that you are the wind beneath my wings, and I love you with all my heart. Thank you so much. God bless you. Once again, NABJ, thank you for this great award. It is one I will never forget, one I will always cherish. God bless you. Keep up the good work. 50 years, and we need you now more than ever before. Keep up the good work, and God bless you guys. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
We will continue to pray for your strength. All right, Eugene, let's talk sports again.
All right, let's do it.
Because Eric Sellers, our next honoree, happens to be a colleague of mine at ESPN. And word on the street is you played Division I football.
Yeah, I see all those shocked faces. I'm slick. I played defensive end at Colorado State University. You know, when God blesses you with a physique like that, at that age, different age now, you know, it looks a little different than it did then. That's what you do, you play sports.
Okay, so did you ever have like any dreams of making it to the NFL?
No, I thought I wanted to be a nerd and stick to that.
Okay, well you're doing well.
Thank you.
You're doing well, okay, good career choice, no problem. And with that, Eric isn't always covering the NFL and NBA. You know why? Because he's out in the community, connecting and empowering Black journalists, and that's why he's here today.
He's the president of the Southern New England chapter of NABJ, and when it comes to looking out for his people in his community, he does not miss an opportunity.
NABJ, please show some love for the 2025 Angelo B. Henderson Community Service Award recipient, Eric B. Sellers.
Congratulations. That's nice.
People suit.
Let's look.
I mean,
We
it's
got a
like
match.
the blush is the color.
blush,
It's looking good.
Yes. Now, as we celebrate 50 years of the Black excellence that is NABJ, 5 decades of paving the path for other Black journalists to follow, we would be remiss not to honor a man who served as NABJ's 3rd president.
And if you don't know his name, it's Bob Reed. Let's give a round of applause for Bob Reed. A pioneer who has spent nearly 60 years in journalism and even created the Salute to Excellence Journalism Awards.
50 years ago, as everyone in this room knows, it was not common for Black people to be considered for jobs in the news media or to see us and our lives reflected fairly on the pages of newspapers and television screens.
So Bob and other Black visionaries hit the ground running, and now, all these years later, Black journalists are at the forefront, consistently providing outstanding contributions to news coverage that's reflective of diversity and hard work on those who built the United States.
It's simple. Without his courage, his dedication, we would not be able to walk the path that we do. Here's more on why we could not let the 50th anniversary of NABJ happen without giving Bob Reed his flowers.
Trailblazing. That describes NABJ's 3rd president, Bob Reed. For nearly 60 years, Reed's been at the leading edge of breakthroughs for Black journalists.
Reverend Ralph Abernathy today revealed
Starting out in his native Florida as a young reporter with Miami's WTVJ, Reed rose to News Bureau Chief at several stops for NBC, CBS, and Fox. He later became an Emmy-winning executive producer at Discovery, and then helped launch the Africa Channel. Along the way, he taught journalism at the University of Southern California.
A lot of experience with.
And even in retirement, Reed continues his work, helping to build media capacity in Africa through his consultancy, BTR Media Works. Reed was the first broadcast journalist to lead NABJ at a critical time in its early years, and the organization still benefits from his legacy. 2025 NABJ Hall of Fame inductee, Bob Reed.
I'm following a lot of really great people, well-deserving, and who've made some incredible speeches. And I'm just so thankful to be here, and I'm especially thankful to NABJ for this very great honor. NABJ has a special place in my heart, always has and always will. I've spent my life gathering news, managing newsrooms in cable channels, and teaching. It's been an incredible journey, and it's not over yet. To those who helped along the way, thank you. You know who you are. There are too many of you to mention because I've been at it a long time. But I also would like to acknowledge some people right here from WKYC TV, where 53 years ago, I actually broke a color barrier that is probably not well known as the first black news manager at WKYC TV back in 1971. One of my many stops along the way. I'm especially grateful to President Kathy Times, Wayne Dawkins, Gail Pollitt, Terry, and Jean Fox Alston for nominating me for this great honor. And to my wife, Dima, son, Sean, friend, Jason Horton, and first cousins, Vincent and Rosalina Brookins, my Cleveland cousins, that is, who are here in the room with me today to celebrate. My grandfather thought I'd preach. My mother hoped for a lawyer. Some teachers said politicians, but I followed my own dream and fell in love with journalism. But in the 60s, the 1960s that is, there were very few role models for black Georgia farm boys taught with secondhand books in segregated schools. So I blazed my own trail. By 1975, I was a manager at NBC News in New York when NABJ was founded. And 4 years later, President Vernon Jarrett urged me to take the helm. And even as some blacks, and he handed me the baton, actually, even as some blacks and many whites wondered why NABJ was necessary. Now, hard-earned gains by black journalists, and indeed black people, are under assault as too woke. Now, I'm old enough to remember when managers falsely claimed they couldn't find qualified blacks to hire. Now the government's anti-DEI orders question the need to even try. With legacy media flailing, internet lies outrun the truth, no editors, no consensus, no accountability. I sustained my career through the years by continual reinvention. And to the young people here today, I say, you can do that too. If nobody is hiring, hire yourself. Create, innovate. Because a free press is the ultimate weapon of democracy. And our voices are desperately needed to challenge power, to report the truth, to preserve the black perspective in a universe, a media universe, ruled by bots, bullies, billionaires, and bigots. Unless we speak up, get into what John Lewis, the great and late John Lewis, called good trouble, NABJ and even the imperfect democracy our ancestors died for could be reduced to fading memories of an impossible dream. And history will say, when they came for us, we were silent. Our freedoms already lost. So NABJ, keep fighting for justice and equality until victory is won. Thank you very much, NABJ.
Can I line it back in? It's like a little plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can eat off it, you can serve as a mantle. Tiffany, when was the last time, I don't know, you picked up someone off the side of the road?
Never.
Oh, okay.
I'm from Florida, just putting it out there, so I'm not trying to be a headline.
Yeah, Florida's a whole different
We are our own
situation. Yeah. But that's exactly how our next inductee became Ohio's first black anchor. That is not a joke. Since then, he has interviewed the greats and the infamous, including President Barack Obama, James Earl Ray, the convicted assassin of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
As journalists, our careers are paved with groundbreaking interviews, courage, and grit. But our next Hall of Fame inductee went above and beyond when he flew the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds above Lake Erie.
So let's take a closer look at how Leon D. Bibb soared, get it, soared, because the fight, no, y'all didn't get it, okay, into NABJ history.
With 10 local Emmys to his resume, Cleveland native Leon Bibb has had an impactful 50 years in television news.
And Patty Hearst was sentenced today. That story plus reaction to the severity of the sentence.
He got his start at WCMH in Columbus, becoming Ohio's first black primetime news anchor. He then moved back home to work at WEWS and WKYC, where he anchored and covered stories from all corners of Northeast Ohio.
Mr. President, you campaigned on hope and change. What do you say to people?
Beyond Cleveland, he's conducted several notable interviews with Presidents Barack Obama and George H.W. Bush at the White House, with Neil Armstrong 10 years after the astronaut walked on the moon, and with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassin, James Earl Ray, from prison. Bibb embedded with U.S. troops in the Persian Gulf, and it wasn't his first time in a war zone. Prior to his years on camera, Bibb served in the U.S. Army during Vietnam and was decorated with the Bronze Star. From service to his country to service in his community, he's had an extraordinary career. 2025 NABJ Hall of Fame inductee, Leon D. Bibb.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, to be part of this NABJ in my hometown, the hometown of my youth and where I learned so much. I will tell you that my journey in journalism began at the age of 11 in the 6th grade at a school in the Cleveland Public School System when my 6th grade teacher put his hands on my 11-year-old shoulders and looked into my eyes and said, "You have a way with words. It is a God-given gift. And if I were you, I would think about a career in journalism." I thank the memory of the late Robert Taylor. As well, I thank W.O. Walker, who was the publisher of the Cleveland Call and Post newspaper. At the age of 20, I walked into the Call and Post, walked in cold. I was home from college for the summer, walked in cold, told him I needed a job. I was working toward a degree in journalism, and Mr. W.O. Walker hired me on the spot. He said, "Son, I'm looking for young men and young women just like you who love this thing called journalism." I thank also Ann Walker, who was a woman in Columbus, Ohio, who was the public affairs director, who I made a phone call after I picked up a hitchhiker in Toledo, Ohio, where I was working in television at WTOL, picked up a hitchhiker who told me about a woman in Columbus I should call, and I called her that day. She was the public affairs director for the NBC station. 3 weeks later, I went on the air in 1972 as the weekend anchor in Columbus to work there for several years before coming back to my hometown of Cleveland in 1979, where I now work at WKYC for the last few years. I did 16 years at WKYC, 22 at WEWS, that's the ABC station here in Cleveland, and I'm in retirement now, but still working a little bit, working maybe 15 hours a week or so. We've got management from WKYC here with us today. Julie Flynn, who's my news director, and John Trevino, who's our brand new general manager. They are here as well. My wife Marguerite is here. She's put up with all of this. We've been married a long time, and when Marguerite and I got married, shortly after that, we were in graduate school, and I was working at college television. She has seen me through college television and all the commercial television that I've been working in for the last several years. But I will tell you that inspirations can come from many different places. When I was 13 or 14 years old, growing up in Cleveland, I found a scrap of copper wire. I took that copper wire home with me in the house I lived with my mother, my dad, and my sister Shirley, who is also here today, by the way. It was 75 feet of thin copper wire, which I tied to my bedpost in my house in the Glenville area of Cleveland. And I ran that piece of thin copper wire up the wall, across the ceiling of my bedroom, down into the hallway of our second floor home, down the hallway, turning the corner to the third floor attic, going upstairs with that thin piece of wire attached to my bedpost, and I tied it to a piece of metal in the top of the house. 13, 14 years old, I had made an antenna, a radio antenna, and I tied the other end of it to my radio, and in the evenings I would sit and I would hear 50,000 watt clear channel stations coming from across the country. I could hear the man at WNBC and WCBS and WABC in New York doing the news and doing commercials, and I said, I want to be just like him. I want to be like those people. Although there were no black people I knew doing this when I was growing up in Cleveland. I turned to KMOX in St. Louis and hear the man say, the time is 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. This is KMOX in St. Louis, Missouri. Or you're listening to WJR Detroit, the voice of the Great Lakes, broadcasting from high atop the Fisher Building. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the good people of Campbell's Soups. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the good people of Blatt's Beer. Blatt's Beer, one fine beer in bottles, kegs, and cans. Now with sports, here's Jim. That's what I wanted to be. That's what I wanted to do. And I found that I could do that. My inspirations continued, just as a 13 or 14-year-old boy growing up in Cleveland. So I'm telling the young people that you can find your inspirations just about anywhere. You look around. I hope that they look at me and at Wayne and all of the others who have received awards today, and I hope the young people say, I want to be like that. Because when I started, there were no black people in television to speak of. When I walked into that first television station in 1971 in Toledo, Ohio, I was the fourth black employee of any kind. I was the first to go on the air in any way. A lot has changed, and a lot is changing in our world, as has been said before me. All we have to do is work at it and inspire the young people. Yes, I'm just a little older than that kid at 13 and 14 years old, but I was looking for inspiration just as the youngsters are looking for inspiration right now. Yes, I was 13 or 14 years old with a little earphone in my ear, listening to those radio signals coming from far and wide across our country, inspiring me. Yes, we can be inspiration for the youngsters out there. I'm that same kid, just grayer at the temples now, more wrinkles in the face now, but I'm that same kid, still working part-time at WKYC. You wonder, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to keep on working for a while longer. I will assure you, God willing, there is more to come. And thank you to the NABJ. Thank you all.
Whew, that was a word. Now, from John F. Kennedy to Joe Biden, our next inductee is known for capturing some of the nation's most memorable moments. But today, he takes his rightful place in NABJ history.
Throughout this ceremony, we've celebrated some of the most decorated names in journalism, but only one has their own museum. While you can see his work in the National Museum of African American History and Culture, he did his big one in 2019, turning his former home into the Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum. Let's give a round of applause for that.
That's impressive.
I don't know about that.
In 2023, Williams secured federal and local funding to expand and relocate that museum. So let's take a look at how Cecil Williams chronicled his way to the NABJ Hall of Fame.
Cecil Williams began his photographic journey as a boy in his hometown of Orangeburg, South Carolina. By age 14, he was already working professionally for the likes of Jet magazine. And over 1 million images later, he's one of the towering figures among Black photojournalists. From Thurgood Marshall's fight for school desegregation to the horror of the Orangeburg Massacre, his documentation of the civil rights movement is an unparalleled visual chronicle. He was also one of John F. Kennedy's favorite press photographers. Throughout his long career, Williams regularly contributed to publications around the country, and his work has appeared in numerous books, motion pictures, and prominent museums. As an up-close witness to history, he's become a driving force behind the South Carolina Civil Rights Museum, and he's still taking pictures well into his 80s. 2025 NABJ Hall of Fame inductee, Cecil Williams.
Cecil couldn't be here today, but he wanted me to share these words. It is with deep humility and heartfelt gratitude that I accept this incredible honor as a 2025 NABJ Hall of Fame inductee, especially during your historic 50th anniversary. I am truly moved to be included among such a distinguished group of storytellers, truth seekers, and defenders of our community's voice. As a former Jet magazine correspondent, I reflect on the time when Black stories often went untold unless we told them. Jet wasn't just a publication, it was a lifeline. It captured our struggles and our triumphs, our funerals and our celebrations, and gave dignity to the lives that mainstream media overlooked or dismissed. From the front lines of the civil rights to the everyday pulse of Black America, Jet gave us presence, voice, and power. I deeply regret not being in your person tonight. We are in the midst of building something that I believe complements the very mission we all share, a civil rights museum dedicated to preserving and telling the untold stories of our movement. It is a labor of love born out of the same spirit that guided my work in journalism, to bear witness, to document the truth, and to ensure our history is never forgotten. To be recognized by the NABJ, a community that has spent half a century shaping, sharpening, and safeguarding the Black narrative, is profoundly meaningful. Thank you for this honor, for your enduring commitment, and for carrying forward the torch of truth. May the next 50 years shine even brighter. Thank you.
And we've come to our final award. The NABJ Legacy Award recognizes a Black journalist of extraordinary accomplishment who has broken barriers and blazed trails.
Honorees have contributed to the understanding of our advancement of people and issues in the African diaspora.
This year's recipient is best known for his 35 years of contributions at WBAL in Baltimore.
When not in the field, he was either in the classroom or in the pulpit. So let's take a look at the impact of the late Reverend Dr. Timothy Lamar Tootin Sr.
Besides saving money, students say the bus ride will help them keep...
Reverend Dr. Timothy Tootin Sr. was an on-air reporter for WBAL-TV in Baltimore for more than 35 years before his retirement in 2023.
He was the only full-time education reporter in Baltimore. Everybody knew him for the school closings.
But you will have school today in Maryland. Only 1 or 2 delays, 1 hour.
You went to Channel 11 and saw Dr. Tootin with a school hat on, different hats. It became his thing, became his brand. He just was a trusted source for us as young people in the city to be like, hey, what's going on in my school?
Baltimore is thousands of miles that way.
Dr. Tootin's favorite story was Africa's Maryland, an Emmy Award-winning documentary about a settlement in Liberia, established by freed American slaves in the 1830s. Dr. Tootin's influence was just as strong off-camera as on.
He was authentic and he just led with love. Dr. Tootin mentored pretty much everyone. Even if you didn't necessarily want a mentor, Dr. Tootin was still going to be there for you and help guide you.
He supported everybody, but he had that little special oomph when it was our people.
Dr. Tootin was also a journalism professor at Loyola University, Maryland, and the founding pastor of Harvest Christian Ministries in Baltimore.
He was a believer in passing it on. Don't keep it to yourself. Pass it on to someone else.
He led with his heart, and I think that was bigger than his voice. And I feel like that's why there's such a hole in Baltimore and the community without him now.
In the 11 newsroom, Tim Tootin, WBAL TV 11 News.
2025 NABJ Legacy Award recipient, Reverend Dr. Timothy Lamar Tootin Sr.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Christopher Nelson. I'm a former NABJ student representative, and I'm the Director of Talent Relations and Recruitment for News Nation, Nexstar Media Group's cable news channel based in Chicago. I stand before you first as a representative of the family of Dr. Timothy Tootin Sr., a husband, father, grandfather, brother, uncle, pastor, and friend. I extend sincerest thanks to NABJ on behalf of Dr. Tootin's family and church family, who is elated that he today receives such a prestigious honor, such as the Legacy Award. I thank NABJ as a representative of WBAL-TV and Hearst TV, and his family and friends and anchors, reporters, producers, photojournalists, editors, who his colleagues and peers, inspired each day by the caliber of excellence he brought to his chosen profession. I thank NABJ as one of the hundreds of students who he served as a professor at Loyola University, Maryland, my alma mater, where I was fortunate to have him as one of my teachers, but also as a role model on how to operate with integrity, intention, endeavoring to educate and engage, and when appropriate, entertain viewers, listeners, and readers. His is a life worth celebrating today, and celebrating and remembering each and every day. His legacy lives on in each of us who still believes in journalism as a calling to serve and as a means to effectively engage the public, to make informed decisions and participate freely in a free and open society with respect for one another. Thank you so very much.
All right, can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? We have come to the end. My heart is full. I am leaving here inspired and reinvigorated. What an amazing show and some tremendous honorees today.
Yeah.
Eugene?
Yeah.
Among your favorite moments?
My favorite moment is hearing the elders speak into all of us young folks to keep pushing, because they did things that we couldn't even dream of, and so that we can do things that they've dreamed of.
I
about
love the way that they've paid it forward, right? So
Literally,
making
for
sure,
one of them.
literally paying it forward. We thank you all.
One more time for all of our honorees today, please.
Well, thank you all. This has been the 50th NABJ Hall of Fame Luncheon. I'm Tiffany Green. I'll see you August 23rd on ABC for the MEAC Swag Challenge. So until then.
And before we say goodbye, I want to thank the crew who makes us look smart, put all the words up here and put all this together, especially Georgia, who is our executive producer, wherever she is, hooking us up. I'm Eugene Daniels. You can catch me on MSNBC's The Weekend, Saturday, Sunday, 7 to 10. Thank you very much. Y'all stay safe in ABJ and have a good weekend.
Love.